And we are live. Hey, how you guys doing? Glad you can all make it. I was a bit worried that we might not make the show tonight because had some issues. The whole town's been struggling with power the last few hours and stuff on and off the whole time. So I'm glad they got that sorted out. We got in now. We got Michael Khan and PJ Cruikshank in the chat. How you guys doing?
Cool. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, all good.
I'm doing
Good to be
great.
here.
I'm doing great because it's the stream about Scimandans. I always have enjoyed
Can we
because
just call him Dan?
Dan. Yeah, because there's no
So-
science. Yeah, there's no science, so it's a bit. It feels odd. But I mean, look, 38% of the people said who is Dan, so I have to say Scimandans so they know who we're talking about.
Mhm.
So yeah, Dan can't give rebuttals. I think that's a factual statement. Yeah, I believe he does try but fails though. 23%. No, it's too much for him. I think I'd choose that one. 38% and who is Dan? 38%. So quite a few people thinking that. I just want to say hi to everybody in chat. William Brackley, thank you for coming in. Moxie, hey man. Goldie, good to see you. PJ Cruikshank, the Shankinator.
Yo.
Derek Nelson, hey. Brian Stavely, thank you for coming. Glad you can make it. And then we got Michael Khan, who's... Yeah, there he is. So how was your guys' day?
Not so
Yeah,
bad.
I've had a lazy one. Not done much at all.
That's nice.
I took my mum out, went for a carvery.
Oh, nice.
So I've got a big
Carveries.
full belly.
That's the thing about carveries. All you can eat. Oh,
I pile it on.
yeah. Hey, Matthew Eastman, good to see you. Paroxene Oxide, Best, hey, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so guys, tonight is Mr. Scimandans. It's probably going on again from, because he keeps bringing up the stream that I did against Professor Dave. And, well, obviously, I still haven't seen him give one rebuttal from any of those streams yet. Or have I
Yeah,
missed
but-
something?
Because physics says so isn't enough for him.
No, but you see how he works. It's just like, show what I'm saying and then just say no. And then that's somehow a debunk of what I said.
But physics don't say out, does it? Like, and is not gonna then go into and explain how physics demonstrates what he was saying.
Exactly. Hi Gary Barbenga, good to see you. Glad you came. It's good to see so much new faces in here as well, guys. If you haven't already, please just hit that like button and share. Because tonight's going to be a special one. We've got Mr. Dan. Oh, wow, I like his face. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, I did email him because, on 2 live streams, I invited him personally to say, come be a guest on the show since you're too much of a coward to come and debate. So just be a guest then. No debating. It's fine. Well, let's just say he didn't answer my email because, the coward he is. Then I went on his Discord today and, messaged him a few times saying, come and, you're invited. Sent your formal invite, everything. And all these trolls just jump onto me saying I'm the coward.
So you've never had any type of reply from him at all when you've
No, I've had replies from him on his channel, but just all he does is pin my comment and then
Right.
lets his audience answer. He doesn't answer himself.
That's what they do. It's a good form of bullying, isn't it? Pin
No.
comment and then you get 300 trolls.
Yeah, but I don't see it as bullying. I just see it as cowardice. Hi Mikey Smith, good to see you. Thank you for coming. But yeah, it's sad actually. This guy's supposed to be this physics genius, knowing science, but out of how much of these series have we done, and we haven't had actual one rebuttal from him yet.
None.
Hey little Smurfs eat Ivy, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Smurfy rocks. Okay, so you guys ready to start? I haven't really watched it through yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what he actually said. Hey Television, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Brian Stevie says he can't come on you because he can't go off script. That's the truth. Hey Triple X, thank you for coming. Give him milk every 5 minutes. I can give him goat's milk. I think I would embarrass him live. I mean, I've even told him and not a Professor Dave they can come together. And yeah, well, they're both just too shit scared to talk to me. So, what
Have you
can I
seen
say?
Mike missed a little impression of Scimandans with the googly eyes and the swinging tongue? That one's pretty funny. It's cringy but funny.
Yeah. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, I don't know, Brian, I don't know if Michael has messaged you. Someone actually messaged him back about that A-Team van, which is really interesting. He actually he does custom work, and all the years he's been doing the custom work on A-Team vans for people have just been black with a red stripe, no silver. The silver is new to him, so that tells you something.
It's very interesting.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Simon has said has been debunked. He's just another scarecrow builder. He just builds strawmans. Hey Penny Lane, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Let's get on with it, guys. I think it's going to be a fun. Like I said, I haven't watched it through yet, so it's going to be fresh with me, just like for you guys.
Towards the back end of last year, we looked at Flatzoid and his attempt at debunking Professor Dave.
I love how he just says part 3. He missed part 1 and 2, by the way. He started on part 3. There's a reason why he started on part 3. Because number 1 and 2 were extra bad for Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben and Gold, good to see you. Thank you for coming. But yeah, let's see.
Now, we managed to get through his first 3 points in 3 videos, but unbelievably, there are still 7 points to go. Can Flatzoid actually debunk any of Professor Dave's points, or will he fail yet again?
Yeah, okay, wow, you won, Dan. I must go home.
Failzoid.
Yeah, that's Failzoid now. I have to go. Hey, YouTube, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Yeah, I might as well just go home now because he just declared I didn't debunk anything. So, him with his FX model of the ISS in the background there.
No prizes for guessing this one, folks.
Okay. So let's just go past these nonsense. I think this is him just trying to think, how am I going to debunk this even though I don't understand the argument kind of thing. That's always what that face has been to me.
Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Scimandans. Thank you very much for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
Before we begin today, a massive thank you to the sponsor, Back, Relax, and so they do not hurt after listening for an extended period of time.
Yeah, it does hurt you. One thing, yeah, Raycons are great. The thing that's not great is having an idiot like this representing them. So Raycon, if you actually want proper sponsorships, contact me because I actually do give facts, unlike this guy. IB McFly, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. It wow Flatzoid, jy word wat? Genaaid maat ja dag. What? It wow Flatzoid, jy word genaaid maat dag. Okay, that's Dutch. Sorry mate, I'm actually Afrikaans. It doesn't maybe mean enjoy your day, I'm not sure. But something about je word genaai maandag. Okay, maybe saying Afrikaans or English, it might help. Sorry, I'm not Dutch. Although they're very similar, there's a lot of things that like that isn't really similar. Okay. Let's carry on, guys. I would like Dan, since he's already made this claim about me, to actually back it up. I think that would be quite good. Although, if you guys are new to this channel and you haven't watched already, do go watch the Scimandans series on my channel and you'll see this guy's talking actual bullshit. He's actually had nothing. So it's just all the normal same bullshit, make claims with no evidence. Okay, it's good.
Which would definitely be me snoozing in my new garden. It's no wonder that Raycon Everyday Earbuds have over 50,000 5-star reviews. Ready to buy something?
Okay.
Quiet.
Okay, let's go.
From Professor Dave. No matter how many videos it takes. Let's go.
Yeah, he loves making videos about me, guys, because I get him a lot of views. You guys realize that? I seem to be very popular in his audience. So, of course, he's going to keep trying to do this. Hey, Jolly Man, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Let's go on.
It wouldn't have a channel, would it, if there were no flat Earth?
Yeah, he wouldn't. That's what made him famous. I mean, look at Dave McKeegan. He's not really getting anything with his cameras anymore, so now he's moved on to Flat Earth as well. So for the first time since he started his channel, he's got like 1 million views and hit over 50k subscribers. Why? Because of Flat Earth content. So what does that tell you guys?
Exactly.
By the way, Dave McKeegan, you still running away from me? You're going to come and chat? I did invite you on FTFE's channel, you know, talking to him live. And his excuse was, I don't want to present a Flat Earth model. Yeah. McKeegan is a clown, that's for sure. Hey, Excessive MC, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I finally caught you live. Greetings from Australia. Is it possible to ask questions at any... Yeah, you can ask questions. Send a super chat, or even later if we do have time, we'll open the panel for anybody's chats. So let's do this.
I think it's quite quiet.
You are all quite perplexed about how Earth's atmosphere can exist next to the vacuum of space. This one is rather amusing because what's happening is that since you have no science education, your only context for the word vacuum is a vacuum.
Now this is spot on. This is their only context.
What's spot on about it? Saying you don't have an education, so therefore you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Gematria Wombat, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Captain Caveman, hey. You see, this is the point I brought up against Not a Professor Dave. He literally just says, you don't have qualifications, so you're not allowed to talk about it. That's just bullshit. I mean, so many people, successful people in history, have not have qualifications and yet they are successful. How about taking your own advice, like the ones you worship so much, like Elon Musk? Does he have any qualifications in rocketry?
I've got a video I want you to play from a timestamp.
Okay.
It's my video. You'll not get us straight. But seeing as like we're talking about Not a Professor Dave, and Dan's bigging you as a professor, we ought to listen to what Professor Dave has to say about his qualifications.
We can, yeah, you think we should quickly do that before we start getting into this?
Yeah, please.
Okay, sure.
Timestamp it.
Awesome. Jeep and Reefer, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Dr. Bass Awkwards, thank you for being here. Yeah, it is Simon, Dad, exactly. Good to see you back, Derek Nelson. And Iron FE. Thank you. Okay, so we're at 2 minutes 47 seconds. Let's quickly get me back there so I can get the chat up here.
4 minutes, isn't it?
No, mine think it's 2 minutes. Oh, but I'm going to download it. On yours, it's 4 minutes 23. I'm talking about my Simon Dan video.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to download it. Hopefully it's going to work.
Point, the centerpiece of my life, and that I'd become successful in reading, and that I'd go on to explain dozens of other topics, including topics I know nothing about, but I hire experts in the field to write
Yeah.
me the scripts, and then...
Ooh. Did you guys hear that? Let's just go back just a little bit. Just a tad bit. Just listen to that again, what he said, guys.
Thing about, but I hire experts in the field to write me the...
To write in the script.
It kills it even worse if you play it out.
Yeah, he literally, and I mean, he has literally conceded to this. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He hires people to write the scripts for him, and even then, he still gets it wrong, which is sad. I mean, look at that. Remember when he debated Dave Weiss? He got with FTFE, of all people, to help him work out his arguments against him.
Nice.
Yeah. Peaceful Warrior, £2 super chat. Thank you very, very much. Really, really appreciate it. Green screen fundraiser. Thanks. Yeah, definitely saving up for that green screen. I'm saving up for a proper one so I can get one with all lightings and stuff as well. Because I'll rather pay a bit more and know I get ones with the proper lighting equipment as well. It doesn't help having a green screen and you don't have the lighting to support it properly. So, yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, Andy Worth, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Andy Worth says, you're not hearing the word experts at all, are you? Hey, Rachie, thank you for coming. Glad you can make it.
Let it play out. It kills it even worse than what he's just said.
Yeah, I think I might have to download it, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, let me download it. It's just going to be easier, guys. Because this YouTube, she does this stuff to me when we stream. But thank you all for coming. Do appreciate you all being here. Okay, download. I will just open it in another. Okay, let's do this. But then again, thank you guys all for coming. Open showing folder. Let's open with another program. Open with. Let's use Forms and TV. Okay.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Good and self. You say 4 minutes.
22.
We'll just start it at 4:11. Let's start there.
One dependent variable.
But because I can't verify the expert that Dave's got his information from.
I didn't know it was going to become the centerpiece of my life, and that I'd become successful in reading, and that I'd go on to explain dozens of other topics, including topics I know nothing about, but I hire experts in the field to write me the scripts, and then consultants to look at the scripts and look at the finished animations and make sure it's all good, right?
Just these experts that he hires must be crap.
Yeah, like I said, his experts are people like Craig, Fight the Flat Earth. Hey, Flat Sabbath, good to see you. Thank you for coming. You see, that's the problem with these guys. They're so-called experts. I mean, look at my debate with FTFE, though. He doesn't even understand what a thermodynamic system is, but he's an expert.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So he might have to re-look at who the expert is that he's contacting. But you see, that's the problem. That's why he cannot debate. Because he needs a script to work off of. If he doesn't have a script, he's not be able to know the argument to be able to rebut back. That's why he's too damn scared to come. Hey, FE Nation, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Let's go.
I'm not professing to be an expert, honestly, in any academic field, not even chemistry.
So I'll provide my own citation. By Anne-Marie Elmenstein, PhD, updated on July 27, 2019. A hypothesis is an educated guess or prediction of what will happen in science. A hypothesis proposes a relationship between factors called variables. A good hypothesis relates an independent variable and a dependent variable. The effect on the dependent variable depends on or is determined by what happens when you change the independent variable.
Yep, that's so true. But we all do know these globies don't know what science is. Scientific method is not used by anyone so far that... who was it? Michio Kaku. No one that I know today really uses what you call the scientific method.
Yeah, that's
Michio
theoretical
Kaku. Yeah.
physicists, isn't it?
Yep. Hey, Mojo Shop, good to see you. Thank you for coming. And I stay by my words. The globe is pseudo-scientific. Because no one can bring me an actual scientific hypothesis for the globe. I mean, look, when I went into chat to that chat AI bot thing, and I asked it, okay, show me the hypothesis and experiment for Newton's gravity. It said there is none, but it's still scientific. How the hell is that scientific if there's no experiment for his hypothesis that wasn't even a hypothesis with an IV?
Wow.
It's sad.
Very sad.
There are a variety of scientific methods for different circumstances, not every single one that covers them all. There's one scientific method. Singular, not plural, Andy. There's not scientific methods. As soon as you say methods, you are evoking pseudoscience. But anyway, yeah, guys, let's just quickly listen again what Mr. What's the name says about his credential, his science.
Acumen.
Yeah, listen again, guys.
I didn't know it was going to become the centerpiece of my life, and that I'd become successful in reading, and that I'd go on to explain dozens of other topics, including topics I know nothing about, but I hire experts in the field to write me the scripts, and then consultants to look at the scripts and look at the finished animations and make sure it's all good, right? I'm not professing to be an expert, honestly, in any academic field, not even chemistry.
That's rubbish though, because he does claim that. He does claim to be the quote unquote expert in the field of chemistry and stuff, because he even takes on actual chemists in this. So yeah, really odd. Okay, thank you for that, Michael. I'm sure everybody knows now the background of Not a Professor Dave, and that is not a professor. I'm sure we can get a lot of tidbits and bites saying where he even says that he's not a professor. So, yeah. Okay, let's get on to Mr. Dan that doesn't actually know anything. Hey, Alan, also, and good to see you. Thank you for coming. Two Wolves, glad you can make it as well. It's always great to have everybody in.
They get vacuums wrong all the time. Let's see what word salad Flatzoid comes up with here, shall we?
Do you guys really see what he already starts off with there? Telling us what we know and what we don't know. And secondly, trying to equate this, a vacuum cleaner, to the second law of thermodynamics violation. Sorry, your straw man...
And also vacuum.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that was you on the video. I thought you were trying to talk now.
Thought Michael was giving you a shout.
Yeah.
I was thinking like...
I thought you were trying to...
Ventriloquist.
But really, this is a false equivocation. A vacuum cleaner is not the same as what they claim with with space, the so-called ultra vacuum of space. By the way, guys, a vacuum cleaner has a container. Just had to point that out.
The people who are uneducated as well is throwing that in there, aren't they?
Exactly, but this is all this guy does. Dave Farina just goes and strawmans everywhere. That's all he does. That's frankly how he gets done in life, is strawmanning arguments and then attacking it. And because the Go believers think he's an actual professor, which he isn't, and they don't actually know the arguments, they just take it as fact.
But you do think the atmosphere should be sucked off the planet?
No, I do not. That is total bullshit and a lie. Hey, Cosmic Guru thank you for coming. Good to see you. Carl Opple, always good to see you as well. And identity verification. So guys, that's an absolute lie. Scimandans, I would like you to do homework and get me one time I've ever said the atmosphere should get sucked off into the vacuums of space. No. The atmo, aka gas, would force itself into the available space if it was adjacent to the system. That is the argument. So once again, guys, keeping true to his name, that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Hey Fusion Star, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Fusion Star says, yes, it's back to the denial and misunderstanding Flatzoid, but it's good to see you. Good to see you too. Two Wolves, yeah, Flatzoid is 3-0 against FTFE. By the way, guys, next week Friday, FTFE has invited me for another debate against one of his supporters. We're going to be debating celestial navigation. So next week Friday. Yeah, entropy, Geometry Wombat, it's just entropy. So I want him to actually go and show me where I said it would suck, and especially like a vacuum, because vacuums don't suck. They create a low pressure system, and because it's a separate system, hence thermodynamics. Entropy will ensue, and yeah, the available space will be filled because the air around it in this system will force itself into the vacuum cleaner. Yeah, I can debunk the globe with the ease. If I draw a circle on the ground, can I draw a smaller circle around the outside of that circle? Nope. That's a good one. Andy Wood says, and it isn't adjacent to vacuum, just a gradually decreasing pressure. Have you ever heard of what they call the Kármán line, Andy? That word, the Kármán line, just showed you to be a total imbecile. Hi Unlimited Hangout, good to see you, thank you for coming. Yes, entropy will ensue, meaning it will increase. Do you know what the increase of entropy means, Andy? Oh, he's just wasting my time. Let's go on with this numbskull. Okay. Yeah.
In the manner that a vacuum cleaner sucks stuff up off the floor. So he does have a point, doesn't he?
It's self-admitted that he goes to people for answers he sends. Obviously he's an educator as well.
Yeah, the thing is, I was trying to explain to someone today, or was it yesterday? He works on a script. If he doesn't have his script, I don't even think he understands half of the things he presents on his channel.
But he does usually write the scripts, Flatsoid. So he does understand it, doesn't he? Just like how I write my script.
So he got caught lying again. What did he just say again in that other video? He hires people to write his scripts for him, and then hires people to make sure the scripts are right. Huh.
You can, and what about Dan? You can see him reading his script
all the time. No, look, I think he does write his own scripts because he doesn't have an actual argument.
Well, yeah, there's not. You don't need a script to say R is wrong. Physics says so. You don't need a script for that, do you?
No, and did you guys see any word salad that he claimed I said? I haven't seen any word salad yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, exactly, Geometry. The Kármán line is the boundary 62 miles, 100 kilometers above mean sea level. That boundary line, that Kármán line, is supposed to be the separation between Earth's system and space. Two separate systems. It means it's an adjacent system.
Because if you actually watch some of the debates he has, he's not actually a debater. He's literally just ad homs and straw mans and red herrings. That's all he does, the whole debate, every debate he has. And then he thinks he wins.
Yeah.
It's actually sad. But yeah, that's
very sad.
That's practically that's his whole persona. Okay, let's carry on.
Cleaner. And again, because you have no science education.
I do like how he didn't actually comment to what I just said there. So I'll take it as you agreeing. Thank you, Dan.
None of you understand how a vacuum cleaner works.
No science education again, telling us that we have no science education.
Sorry, what science education do you have then, Flatsoid? We're all desperate to hear.
Science education by doing research and by showing you I can school you on the science. You don't need to have an actual PhD to have an education in science. It's called knowledge. Is that correct? I mean, I can build an engine. Do I have a degree in building engines? Am I a mechanic? No, but I can build it. So that means I have knowledge in it. So I have an education in building it. If you didn't have an education, aka knowledge, you wouldn't know how to build an engine.
I've got a qualification in railway engineering.
Yeah, and railway engineering.
Can I drive a train? No.
Exactly. But I mean,
I do know there's no curves involved in laying railway lines.
What would happen if the railway line was, let's say, 4 degrees?
The train can't get up it.
Ah, yeah, quite hectic. I mean, I think the maximum slope you can have is 2 degrees.
I think it's 2 degrees, smooth track, smooth wheels.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, says that's not education. It is education. Do you even know what knowledge means? Try being educated without having knowledge, please.
What's your education, Andy? Troll.
Yeah, I don't even know if you get diplomas and that nowadays, do you?
Just note, guys, I did invite Scimandan to come on as a guest because he's too shit scared to debate, and yet he's still too shit to just be a guest on a Flat Earth channel. Hey Eduardo, he says the Kármán line is roughly the theoretical maximum altitude that an aeroplane can fly beyond. That air is too thin for wings to be effective. No, it's the theoretical boundary between Earth and space. It's got nothing to do with airplanes. Airplanes don't go close to 100 kilometers. Stop smoking your socks, mate. And yes, that's true, Jolly Man. Often education is just indoctrination.
Yet there are so many flat earthers that have PhDs and doctorates and professors.
Now that may be so, but are they scientific PhDs and doctorate?
I don't think this guy would know if it hit him in the face if it was scientific PhDs. What's it? Let's try and go through what would be a scientific PhD. Can you name a scientific PhD, guys? Yeah. Science is simply the inference to figure out the cause for an effect. How the hell do you get a PhD in science? You get a PhD in a field that can use science, but you can't get a PhD in science. Noggin. Hey, it's me again. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you can make it. He is a chicken, yeah. Because the thing is, remember, this is the same guy that thinks astronomy is scientific. It's the same guy that thinks things like looking at a star is somehow scientific, or calculating math is scientific. That's not science. That's pseudoscience. So this guy should be the last person to talk about science. Yeah, theoretical science is not science. Hey, James D, good to see you. Thank you for coming. What level of education is required before you can ask for evidence of the claim? What do you mean? You either have knowledge in the subject or you don't. It's very simple stuff.
I don't think they are they?
And how about people that used to work for NASA? I'm sure there's flat earth NASA employees, correct?
Highly unlikely.
Okay, let's move on.
Which is a problem, because you seem to think that outer space is a vacuum cleaner. Let's take a moment and clear this up. A vacuum is any region where there is no stuff. Here, there is stuff, like air, in space.
I just gotta go back there quickly. I didn't realize it, but he just debunked himself here. He put a boundary, a box. So, two separate systems, guys. So, did he just concede you needed containment?
It looks like it.
Huh. Yeah, you don't need a PhD to know water seeks level. Exactly, Effie. Physics is physics, guys. I don't need a degree in physics to know how the physics works. It's just an appeal to authority. That's all.
We're past all this, aren't we now? We've had all this for the last goddamn 8 years.
Yep.
You know.
I mean, these are the same people that said the branches of science. We laughed at them. The same people that said science proves things, and then when we show them things that say it doesn't, now science doesn't prove things. You know what I mean? They can't make up their mind. Andy Uplonka, Flatwood was only mentioning that because Scimandans said it. Tried to keep up. That's true. They can't keep up. I think the people that come in here, like the trolls, they have to watch the show over and over a few times till they actually get it. And even then, they still struggle.
A vacuum is any region where there is no stuff. Here, there is stuff, like air, in space.
This is also false information. Here, there is no stuff. So he's saying there's nothing there. What is 10 to the minus 17 tall? There's still stuff there. It's just very, very little of stuff. So this is also factually incorrect, by the way.
First of all, it shows vacuum cleaners there. Nobody says there's vacuum cleaners there. They put a vacuum cleaner there to make fun of your globe. It's not that we literally say there's a vacuum cleaner there.
Now, he wasn't saying that, Flatsoid.
He was saying that, did he not? I'm sure he just said vacuum cleaners in space. He literally just said we believe there's vacuum cleaners in space. Let's do this again.
A vacuum is any region where there is no stuff. Here, there is stuff, like air, in space.
Wait, no, let's go back.
Is that a scientific term? Stuff.
Yes, stuff. Yeah.
Stuff. I
I
mean,
know.
come on, Dave.
Stuff.
Stuff. Yeah, substance. I mean, he's not even scientific enough to know what the word substance means.
I used to work for NASA. I'm sure there's flat Earth NASA employees, correct?
Highly unlikely.
Oh wait, I just had to quickly, because we missed that now. He says highly unlikely that there's ex-NASA employees, flat earthers. Should we quickly go find one for him?
Why not?
I assume there's plenty.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few, but I'm going to take one that I actually want to have on the show. Jesus Free Computer Geek, guys, he has his channel. Please do go subscribe to him. By the way, him and his wife worked for NASA. They're both flat earthers. Awesome stuff if you guys want to watch. He's got some really great stuff. So, Mr. Scimandan already shown wrong again. Shame.
Okay, let's move on.
Which is a problem, because you seem to think that outer space is a vacuum.
There we go. He just literally debunked what Scimandan just said. He literally said, "Do you think that that space is a vacuum cleaner?" Hey, Jesus Jones, thank you for coming. Good to see you. I have a friend. Brian Stanley also says he has
Brian knows Dave.
Yeah, Brian also knows Dave. Yeah. And I have a friend who is an ex-NASA employee. I have interviewed him 4 years ago. That's awesome, Brian. He's also well versed in Mandela effect. That's cool. Yeah. So far, I don't think Scimandan actually watches and listens to the stuff that he's rebutting, because he just goes against what his pal Dave just says about the vacuum cleaners. So he's caught lying again.
He probably gets the information second hand and gets a little script written for him and just reads it out.
Yeah, Brian, Dave is awesome. That's why I say I want to get him on the show sometime. Definitely. I wanted to organize him for the beginning of this year, but I've been so busy actually. I should actually get hold of him again and ask him, can we set up a time? Because that's going to be an epic stream when he comes on.
Let's take a moment and clear this up. A vacuum is any region where there is no stuff. Here, there is stuff, like air, in space.
First of all, it shows vacuum cleaners there. Nobody says there's vacuum cleaners there. They put a vacuum cleaner there to make fun of your globe. It's not that we literally say there's a vacuum cleaner there.
Now, he wasn't saying that, Flatsoid. He put the vacuum cleaners there because you guys think that space works like a vacuum cleaner. And that's what he said.
No, that's not what he said. He literally just said, you guys think it's a vacuum cleaner. Those were his words, was it not? Yeah, he's a very smart guy.
No, you just hearing what you're hearing, you know?
Oh,
Professor
man.
Dave has more fallacies than I've ever seen in my life. You'd think Professor Dave would know what a fallacy was, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think.
Oh, man. Thank you, Dan. You're really, really showing that you know nothing like usual.
And you do think that?
No, we do not think that. Also amazing how he tries to tell us what we think. Yeah, guys, 51 people watching. Thank you all for being here. Please hit that like button, because we only have 22 likes. Okay.
I know what I love? Whenever you pause, Dan.
Yeah.
It looks like you're having a stroke or something.
That is funny, yeah. But he does like moving his hands like this, like he's, you know, having some kind of epileptic
Looks like
fit or
he's
something.
playing a piano.
He might as well be. He probably no more he's doing that than he does science.
This is much more of a vacuum than that down there.
And now he's about to prove Dave's point.
I'm about to prove Dave's point. Okay, let's listen.
This is 10 to the minus 17 tall.
Which means there's still stuff there. Substance. Gas pressure. Low gas pressure.
Define stuff.
Yeah. I don't think there's a place in natural reality where you can find a place that there is no stuff or substance. I think the better word would be substance. So yeah, I think Dave would have to define the word stuff.
There's supposed to be planets in there, and comets, and asteroid belts, and
Yeah.
gases,
And they're
clouds.
supposed to be much larger than our Earth, so yeah.
But there's stuff, aren't there?
Yeah, they stuff, and those stuff is much larger than our Earth on their heliocentric model. So it's supposed to be more stuff then, isn't it? Yeah, really odd stuff.
I think he had to get up to his people who are looking into these things for him.
We cannot even replicate that on Earth. The Sandusky vacuum chamber doesn't even come close to it.
No, we can't replicate it here on Earth. And that's mainly due down to the fact that if we had a chamber filled with almost nothing, the huge weight of the atmosphere above it and around it would just be crushing. It's a little...
So you need containment to separate the gases, Mr. Dan. Congratulations. By the way, why haven't they just taken another vacuum chamber inside the Sandusky vacuum chamber to try and get it? Ever thought of that? Think about it. He's now equating, saying it's because of the atmosphere putting weight.
Why do astronauts train in water and not in a vacuum chamber?
Because they would die. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I mean,
Might them suits not be any good?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to train in a vacuum chamber, that's for sure.
yeah, no, it's the excuse is, well, water is as close as we can get to having a 0G buoyancy. Instead of ignoring, well, why don't they train in a vacuum chamber to see the environment? I mean, they can just put them on bungee cords in the vacuum. They would have their so-called buoyancy and their 0G in a vacuum, like they would be in space. Instead, they put them in a pool that has opposite pressure. Pressure pushing down on them, not the pressure from their suits pushing out. That's the idiotic part of this all. It's literally opposite vector.
a bit like taking a submersible down.
It replicates the conditions. No, Andy, water does not replicate that. That's rubbish. Hey, Si, hey, Face Reality, thank you for coming.
Rubbish. Is water like a vacuum?
No, definitely not.
So that's rubbish, Andrew.
A vacuum's meant to be frictionless. Water's not.
Water is the total opposite to a vacuum. Total opposite. And yes, bungee cords do replicate it. We've seen actual videos where they have people replicating how they're walking on the moon with bungee cords, Andy.
Aye.
How do you think they do it? How do you think they do it? How do you think they do it on the movies? They even have rigs for the movies that make them weightless.
1 minute, Eduardo, that is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard anybody type. Do you think they should train in a pool in a vacuum?
What? That's not even coherent. No,
Wow.
buoyancy doesn't give the effect of weightlessness. Buoyancy is buoyancy. You do know you still sink in a pool. You literally have to kind of swim to be buoyant in a pool, unless you go to a very, how can I put it, dense pool, like a saline type pool, a very salt infested pool. But then they're not going to be able to go down with their suits because their suits is filled with air. Hey Tony Whitcomb, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. On your break at work, I feel really honored that you would take to come and listen while you're on break. But yeah, I want to know how you get a vacuum in a pool. That would be interesting.
Oh wow.
How's the votes going? Dan just can't give rebuttal. 66 votes. Yes, I believe he does try. Fails though. 23%. No, it's just too much for him. 42%. And who is Dan? 35%. Are you guys enjoying this so far?
Yeah, it's good.
This one's going a bit quicker though, because it's not a very long video from him. But then again, what has he been actually presenting so far? He hasn't. He looks.
Not much.
But look what he. Look at the screenshot it's on now. How does that look to you? It's like he's trying to grope someone. Okay. Go.
To the depths of the ocean, there would be a pressure difference on the outside of the submersible compared to the inside of the submersible. So that difference would mean there'd be a force exerted on the outside of that submarine. Now,
Yeah. Water. It gives pressure to what? On the outside of the suit? Where if you're in a vacuum, the gas inside gives pressure what? To the inside of the suit. Should we... You know what? I want to show something, because remember when I talked about they plugging the hole of the ISS with duct tape
Yeah.
with FTFE. I want to quickly look for something. I think it was Action Lab.
Can you remember the posted that picture, didn't they? It looked like a bullet hole, like all in ISS, and it turned out it was just I think it was off a music album or something.
It was literally taken from a 80s music album, and they said
Yeah.
it was still with Chris Hadfield, where he said it was a meteor that struck.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get to the point where, look at this hole now. He's put in duct tape on here. Now, I want you guys to concentrate on what's the pressure that this little measly vacuum chamber makes of his. Okay, I'm going to have to... There we go. I mean, look at the pressure that his measly vacuum chamber makes. Now, compare this to the vacuum of space, the ultra vacuum. Minus 10 to the 17 torr. This doesn't even get to a inkling of that. And look what it does to duct tape. But yet they could cover the ISS with duct tape.
What did Don Petit say? Well, if you've got a leak, you've got a leak.
And the one thing I still wanted to bring up with him, which I forgot to, was about the rubber seals. They have yet to replace the rubber seals.
Yeah.
And we all know what happens to rubber seals in a cold environment.
They perish.
Yeah, they get brittle, and I mean, you on the railway, you know what happens to those rubber seals. You guys had to replace them quite often, correct?
They have rubber pads what track sits on.
Yeah, and they had to get replaced a lot.
Yeah, they have to get. Otherwise, track damages sleepers.
Exactly, and that's not even in the so-called temperatures that they get in space. So that's really odd stuff. It's
I've had some cold nights on railway.
yeah, that's what I say. I mean, and also the thing that makes it even more brittle is when the sun is supposedly shining on it, it's super hot. And then when the sun's not shining, it's super cold. So it's expanding and it's decreasing, expanding, decreasing, that it gets brittle.
Look at all the moisture that they throw about inside ISS.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's so fake, it's not even funny. But yeah, thank you Action Lab once again for debunking the ISS could have been fixed with duct tape in a vacuum.
Whoa!
Ooh, okay, let's go back. Come on, come on.
Whoa!
What was that pressure, guys? Let's look at the replay again.
so cool.
So cool, yeah. Look at this. Oof. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. So tell me again, Mr. Daniel, how is that same pressure the same as underneath under the ocean? Remember, ocean is the liquid is bonded. Gas is unbonded. Gas is freely moving in all directions, and it's going to try force itself out of the suit to the surrounding area. You know, like when you blow a balloon up, what happens when that balloon gets blown up too much? It explodes, correct?
Yeah.
Now, with the submarine, it implodes on itself because of all the pressure from the outside. The bonded... yeah.
1 second, Andy Hurst just debunked himself. It's been asked if you put a box of gas inside a vacuum chamber and poking a hole in it, what would happen? And his answer is the gas will expand into the vacuum.
Did he?
Earth,
yeah. Did you use a?
Flat Earth, mate.
Did he use a box in the vacuum? These guys don't understand what it means. Separate system. Then again, they don't know what the word system means. Oh man. Yeah, tiny vacuum 1, duct tape 0. Now if that happened to that little thing, what do you think is going to happen to their little flying tin can in space?
Now, if we had a vacuum chamber here on Earth's surface, there would also be a pressure difference. The difference between the atmosphere on the outside and the vacuum on the inside.
Like I said, that's why you can have the Sandusky vacuum chamber, and you can put up that full vacuum as it can go, and just stick another vacuum inside there to make it even more. Is that not possible? I mean, I have seen people take bell jars, 3 different bell jars, and they all have their own vacuum system inside, and they still couldn't get it right. Weird, Mr. Dan.
And that means things like this would happen.
Container, Dan. Oh, Daniel. Physical barrier container. Now, inside there is a very low pressure system, correct? On the outside there's a much higher pressure system, correct? Yeah. So he just debunked his own argument, because their claim is pressure does not require containment. Yet what he's showing is containment. Oof. Oof.
So, that already shows your argument has no hold of anything.
Yep.
There's stuff there, but it's so minute, there's hardly anything. So, one thing you got to get into your mind is that system is a separate system to that. Because they are separate systems, entropy will increase. You will have dispersal. The error of time does happen. You will have the gas in the system dispersing into the variable system because it's 2 separate systems.
No, you won't.
Oh, is that so? He says no you won't, guys. That's his rebuttal. No you won't.
That's a brilliant rebuttal.
Okay.
That's up where it says so.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to play this video of me.
Virtual consult.
I'm just going to play this video since he says no you won't. Because this video just explains it all, guys. I'm going to quickly download it because we all know what happens if I don't download it. Again, thank you guys all for coming. Appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the Scimandans series. I enjoy it. Hey, Weatherhelm, good to see you. Thank you for coming. He says, space is not empty, you silly flurfs. No one says it is. Yeah, that was your Dave Farina, PhD professor expert, saying that. It has no stuff.
Yeah.
We never said it has no stuff. 10 to the 17, a minus 17 tall means there's stuff.
That was Dave, weren't it?
Yeah, that was him
Okay.
saying that.
No stuff.
So the pressurized atmosphere is kept there by gravity, as I said multiple times. So
Hi, I'm Emerald Robinson, and in this What Is video, we're going to investigate the state of matter called a gas. Gases are materials that have no definite volume and no specific shape.
your whole idea of, oh, Mark has no answer. I do have an answer. The atmosphere is kept there by gravity, at gravity, at gravity, at...
Third, gases can flow from one area to another. Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
The atmosphere is kept there by gravity, at...
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
Gravity, at gravity, at...
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
So if the Earth had a container, as you claimed, you made a claim there that the Earth has a container over it, what ought to happen, according to the second laws of thermodynamics, is that the air should equalize to become the same pressure, like in an aeroplane or like in any other container.
Molecules in a gas collide with one another and move more quickly or more slowly based on factors like temperature and pressure.
It would not have a pressure gradient going up from high pressure at the bottom to low pressure at the top.
2 times per hour exactly is about it if you prefer. What we have is a bucket of ice water. Okay? So, and that hose is coming out right here and it runs up to this pressure reading gauge right here. Which, as you can see, is right at about 3. And this one is right at about, it's under 2.5. Almost to 2. What I've done is I've taken this heating gun up to 800 degrees, and then we have the bucket of ice water at the bottom, and I'm changing the temperature, hopefully, at both ends.
And this is where you have absolutely proven yourself wrong, because if there was a physical container there, the air would equalize and all become the same pressure, but we know that going up a mountain, the air becomes thinner.
Everybody knows that it's colder up in the mountains than it is down below, and the difference can be quite substantial. Now, to understand why this change in temperature happens, we need to understand a little bit about gases.
In order to study the relationship between pressure and temperature, we will heat up a gas which is enclosed in a tight container. While we are heating the gas in the container using a burner, we can see that with the increase in temperature, the pressure of the gas also increases. And when we cool the enclosed gas, we can observe an obvious decrease in its pressure.
Now, when gases are compressed, they heat up. And when gases expand, they cool down. When the gas is compressed, it's going into high pressure and getting hot. And when it's being expanded, it's going into low pressure and getting cold. So the gas starts out at a certain temperature, and as it goes up to low pressure, it's being expanded and getting colder.
It becomes less pressurized. People have to take oxygen up Everest.
It's 2 cylinders. It contains all the regulators, the delivery mechanism, and the face mask.
You are absolutely wrong. And you've just shown that by claiming that there is a container around the Earth.
Let's just take a gas in some volume, V, and over here is going to be vacuum of equal volume, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume.
Okay, what did Scimandans say again? Let's go back.
The available system, because it's 2 separate systems.
No, you won't.
Okay, let's listen again. MIT, guys.
Once it becomes available, right? You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available.
Okay, let's listen again what Scimandans says.
Dispersal, the error of time does happen. You will have the gas in the system dispersing into the available system because it's 2 separate systems.
No, you won't.
Back to MIT.
And we're going to remove the barrier. The gas is going to fill the available volume. Take a gas, and over here is going to be vacuum, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume.
Because if that was there, all of the air would would equalize. Now, this is the same thing you're claiming where the air should go out to space. It should equalize, yes, but gravity is holding it down.
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
One of these bulbs, some bromine, and in the other, I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy.
So yeah, Dan's shown wrong again, guys. So I say hi to Flat Warriors for coming in. Who else did I see that came in earlier? Thank you for being here. Fataholics Anonymous, thank you for being here. And then I saw Von Newman. Hey, glad you could make it. And then we also have, I saw someone else here now. Weather Helm, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Okay, so I think that kind of shows you wrong again, Dan. You might need to go back to the drawing board, yeah. Who talked in the beginning that we don't know what we're talking about again? Can we make it any more clear? So I think the Globers have to contact MIT and tell them you guys don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Dr. Ale, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh, Danny boy is too stupid to debunk anything. Well, he's so stupid he debunks his own arguments while trying to make them. And have you guys noticed he still hasn't actually given any rebuttal to anything I've presented?
He doesn't. He just makes a beeline past that one.
He just says no. But unlike him, we actually got stuff to back it up. So, I mean, I think what we can do after this is maybe go look at Blue Marble Science, where he tries to provide us demonstration of gas pressure without containment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gravity means that you need an escape velocity in order to leave this planet.